哎，又生气了，又生气了。
姑娘，你减肥你怎么大脑都减下去了呀？
我就是一句话不甘，我不甘心。
你们俩就玩吧，气死我了。
The young woman in the video is named Yen Yen. She looks slim now, but just a year ago, she was still a 70 kilograms fat girl. Now she has dropped to 40 kilograms, successfully transforming into a beautiful woman. However, this change also caught the eye of her ex-boyfriend Xiao Wan, turning his former disdain into sudden admiration. He then came to the show to ask for a reconciliation. But this move made the mentors on the scene very angry, and one of them even left the stage in anger. So what exactly happened between the two? To understand the whole story, we have to start with the fact that the girl succeeded in losing weight.
其实主持人，我之前是挺胖的一个胖女孩，以前是130多斤吧。哦，是自从跟他分手以后，我一直减肥，减成现在这个样子。
我看看，这是多重？
这是已经减肥差不多有点成效的时候，120多斤吧。
你现在多重
？84吧。
In fact, Yen Yen was able to lose weight all thanks to her ex-boyfriend Xiao Wan. Why do I say that? Because before the two broke up, the girl's weight had soared to 70 kilograms, and it was precisely because she was too fat that she was disliked by her boyfriend, so they broke up. But after the breakup, the unwilling Yen Yen made up her mind to lose weight. After half a year of effort, she finally achieved the current result. So this successful weight loss has a lot to do with her ex-boyfriend. However, speaking of the experiences before they broke up, the girl can be said to have suffered deep pain. To know exactly what happened, we have to go back to when they first met.
当时我们一块儿进入一个大学学生会聚会嘛，一块儿玩游戏，然后他输了，他选择大冒险，作为代价就是他要亲一下左边女孩的脸颊，然后正好我坐在他的左边，之前一直很自卑嘛，因为胖，当时就特别喜欢他，当时心情特别激动，然后在那之后就是
It was exactly this kiss that made Yen Yen, who already liked this boy, like him even more. But at that time, Xiao Wan had no feelings for this fat girl, yet he couldn't resist her persistent pursuit. After that game, Yen Yen began to take the initiative to pursue him. When Xiao Wan played basketball, the girl would prepare drinks for him. During evening self-study, she would always save him a seat, and other such gestures of affection moved Xiao Wan, so he agreed to try dating her.
上杆子可不是买卖呀，姑娘啊。
That's absolutely right. The girl worked hard to win the boy's heart, but he didn't treat her as his girlfriend. Not long after they started dating, he set 3 rules for Yen Yen.
不能牵手，不能合照，在没有他允许的情况下，不能对外公布我们的关系。可是这是情侣之间做的最基本的事，他都给我抹杀了，我简直是。
It is obvious that the 3 rules Xiao Wan set were just to prevent others from knowing that Yen Yen was his girlfriend. The reason behind this was that at that time Yen Yen was a fat and unattractive girl. To put it bluntly, such a girlfriend was not someone he could proudly show off, so he deliberately made those rules. Loving too deeply, Yen Yen knew full well that this was an insult to herself, but she still chose to obey, the reason being her low self-esteem. Yen Yen, with low self-esteem, knew her appearance was not worthy of her boyfriend. Not only did she have to abide by those 3 unreasonable rules, but to make up for her shortcomings, she also cooked, washed clothes, poured tea, and served him like a servant. But even so, she did not gain her boyfriend's recognition. Instead, what she got were words of ridicule that were hard to accept.
我每天早上准备好早饭，在楼底下等着他。他出来的时候，我特别高兴的朝他跑过去，可是他却说：“你别跑了，你看你一身肉一颤一颤的，觉得特别恶心。”我真的特无语。
当时只是一句玩笑，我没想到你会这么认真啊！
这是玩笑话吗？而且你这种讽刺不只是1次2次了。
Such insulting words were not only said in private between them, but also in front of others without mercy. Once when they were shopping, Yen Yen was humiliated by her boyfriend in public.
平常咱们一块儿出去逛街，看衣服，哪次不是看你喜欢的？偶尔我试1、2件衣服，还有外人在场，你居然说你都那么胖，你还试衣服，你纯属糟践人家衣服。
In fact, Yen Yen was a girl with self-awareness. She knew she did not match her boyfriend and felt inferior, so she obeyed him and took good care of him, with the goal of making him accept her. But what she got in return was constant humiliation. And Xiaowen always hit where it hurt most, deliberately joking about his girlfriend's most vulnerable side, making the already self-conscious Yan Yan feel even more inferior. But even so, Yan Yan did not plan to give up. Instead, she endured the insults and continued to treat her boyfriend even better. In addition to cooking and doing laundry for her boyfriend, she also spent a lot of money on this man. As long as it was something her boyfriend liked, Yan Yan would do her best to give it to him.
他忘充饭卡了，然后我给他刷饭卡。他喜欢什么东西，我给他买。喜欢手机，给他买手机、平板。他喜欢王治郅的签名篮球，我托朋友费尽周章的给他买。游戏装备几百几千的，我给他买那么好的装备。可是你是怎么对我的？
In contrast, the boyfriend was unwilling to spend even a penny on her. Even if he topped up her phone bill, he would try to get the money back, which was simply too ruthless and unkind.
偶尔充个话费，你还想尽办法把那钱要回去呢？我真不知道你是缺这钱吃不上饭是吗？
没有想尽办法，只是随口一提，然后。
那你都提了，我能不还你钱吗？我能不还吗？你都提了，我还不还？
我觉得这个吧，反正有点不厚道。
In fact, it's not hard to see that Xiaowen never liked this girl from the very beginning. From start to finish, he was just playing with her feelings. And this silly girl, although lacking confidence in her appearance, was very persistent about love, giving endlessly to this scumbag. But love is something that requires effort from both people. With Yan Yan giving one-sidedly, there was clearly not going to be a good outcome. In the end, the one who would be hurt was definitely herself.
这最过分的是，他把他和别的女生的一些亲密合照发在微博上，我实在是忍不了了。我看到那些照片，我真的是觉得压倒骆驼最后一根稻草，我真的是无法忍受你了。
Whether it was humiliation or money spent, Yan Yan could endure it all. But what she could not bear the most was betrayal. And this incident of her boyfriend taking intimate photos with other girls became the most unacceptable thing for Yan Yan since the beginning. But what she didn't expect was that this intimate photo incident was actually deliberate on Xiaowen's part. The reason was that Xiaowen had brought up breaking up many times before, but each time Yan Yan desperately tried to save the relationship. Helpless, Xiaowen had to resort to this, deliberately angering his girlfriend so that she would take the initiative to break up. As a result, this tactic really worked, and so the two parted ways.
我觉得有时候你就是故意让我看到的，故意让我说分手的，是不是？
那这次提分手是谁提的？
是我提的。
醒悟了，多好啊！
This torturous relationship deeply hurt Yan Yan, who already had low self-esteem. Not only was she hurt emotionally, but her self-respect was also damaged. So after the breakup, Yan Yan made up her mind to become a beautiful woman. Thus, there was the weight loss story we mentioned earlier. Now, half a year later, Yan Yan has gone from 70 kilograms to 40 kilograms, instantly turning into a slim beauty. This change made her ex-boyfriend Xiao Wen's eyes light up. He never expected that the former Cinderella would turn into Snow White. So he immediately changed his attitude, admitted the mistakes he had made before, and tried to win back the relationship.
分手多久了？
有半年了吧？
怎么半年过去了，现在才回来找呢？
看到我改变了呗，
其实
看到我瘦了呗。
其实主要真的不是因为这些，就是这半年有经历。
你不是因为这些，当初你怎么那时候你怎么没有认识到我对你的好啊？
If Xiaowen wasn't trying to get back with his ex-girlfriend because she had become beautiful, then what other reason could he have? In fact, in the half year since their breakup, Xiaowen had another relationship. Compared to how good his ex-girlfriend was to him, this new relationship was worlds apart. The new girl not only had a bad temper, but was also particularly spoiled. In addition, she was not willing to spend money on him like Yan Yan was. So, looking back at his now slim ex-girlfriend and remembering how good she had been to him before, this was the real reason Xiaowen wanted to get back together.
这半年又经历了一段感情嘛，
又经历了一段啊，胖子还是瘦子啊？
这些其实不重要，我就想说，
不重要啊，
这些都不重要，重要的是能够给他充饭卡。
对，我谁花钱花的多呀？
这个
Of course, Xiao Wen's little tricks were nothing in front of the mentors. With just a few words, they made him speechless. And Yan Yan coming this time was not simply to forgive him. The humiliation she had suffered before could not be so easily forgotten. Now, Yen Yen had transformed into Snow White and was no longer the self-conscious fat girl she once was. So this time, Yen Yen came to the show full of confidence, to show this scumbag in front of everyone, to make him regret the filthy things he had done before. At the same time, the mentors also cheered her on, and gave the girl some advice.
古来美女皆为寿，唯有贵妃一身肉。她既然曾经嫌弃过你的丑，嫌弃过你的胖，而你终究有一天会老，会发胖，她那个时候一定还会嫌弃你。所以说事实大概是摆在眼前了，这个男生真的不爱你。至于他其他的一些嫌贫爱富这些东西也好，希望他以后能够改变。你要是真的喜欢他，你回来找他可以。如果你只是因为我找不到比我更好的，你再回来找他，那你又害了别人一回。
In fact, everyone could see why the man came back to Yen Yen this time. He was not trying to get her back because of love, because from the very beginning he had never loved her, so how could he suddenly change? Therefore, this harmful mindset must not be allowed to happen again, and the mentor firmly advised the girl not to believe his sweet talk. But just when all the mentors thought the girl would leave, an astonishing scene happened. Yen Yen actually chose to forgive him. This result left everyone feeling incredulous. At the same time, the mentor who had given her advice also left in anger.
又生气了，又生气了。
姑娘，你减肥你怎么大脑都减下去了呀？
When the girl made that choice, everyone at the scene gasped in surprise. No one expected Yen Yen to make such a decision. The mentor was so angry that he threw down a harsh remark and turned away. At the same time, another mentor also thought the girl was out of her mind. So why exactly did Yen Yen decide to stay? Let's hear what she said herself.
就是一句话，不甘，我不甘心。
你们俩就玩吧，气死我了。
The girl's sentence, "I am not willing to accept it," revealed several things. Perhaps she was choosing to be together with hatred. Maybe she wanted to use this as revenge on her ex-boyfriend. It's hard to say. But there is another possibility, that Yen Yen was unwilling to accept that failed relationship, and now that she had become beautiful, she wanted to openly love once more. Which of these two possibilities is Yen Yan's true intention? If you ask me, both are wrong decisions. What do you think?
In relationships, a change in appearance can catch someone's eye, but it can't change a person's true nature. Xiaowen never truly loved Yen Yen. He once disliked her for being overweight, and in the future he might dislike her for growing older. Is Yen Yan's choice driven by revenge, or by a need to prove herself? Is this really the right decision? We all hope love can be equal and sincere, not built on looks and material exchange. But reality is often cruel. Some people turn back for a familiar embrace, while others choose to walk away completely. Do you think Yen Yan's choice is right or wrong? If it were you, would you forgive or leave firmly? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I really look forward to hearing from you. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.